Let's imagine the roar of Chase Center, electric, expectant, and on the edge of uncertainty. For the first time in years, Warriors fans aren't sure what comes next. The 2024-25 campaign ended in stinging fashion, a 4-1 playoff defeat at the hands of the hungry Minnesota Timberwolves. A loss made all the more brutal by the image of Steph Curry watching from the sideline, nursing a hamstring injury as his team's season unraveled. As the final buzzer sounded, one thing became crystal clear. If Golden State wants another shot at a championship, it's time for real change. Welcome to your ultimate off-season preview, packed with big-name trade rumors, expert insights, and the emotional pulse of a fan base eager for one more climb to the top. The question is simple. Will the Warriors play it safe or swing for the fences and bet their future on a new centerpiece? This past season's playoff heartbreak forced every Warriors stakeholder to face reality. Yes, they snagged a surprise, a win in Game 1 in enemy territory. But without Curry, the team quickly fell apart, dropping 4 straight and exposing cracks fans had hoped would heal mid-season. Jimmy Butler's arrival via trade gave a jolt of hope. His grittiness, clutch defense, and leadership helped secure the 7th seed. But the bitter truth emerged in the postseason. There simply wasn't enough support, enough depth, or enough shooting to threaten the West's elite. Around the league, Golden State's window is believed to be closing. Steph is now 37, Draymond and Butler are also in the twilight of their primes. And while the team still possesses unique chemistry, the foundation is wobbling. The entire basketball world is watching to see, will the Warriors quietly fade or audaciously reload? The Porter Jeter sweepstakes, a $173 million swing for the future, here's where the story turns. As the league turns its attention to a wild summer of trade possibilities, Denver's Michael Porter Jr. has unexpectedly entered the Warriors' orbit as a potential game-changer. Porter Jr., a 6'10" scoring machine, signed a 5-year, $173 million max contract with the Nuggets in 2021. He's carved out a reputation as one of the league's most dangerous shooters, with career averages of 18.2 points, 7.0 rebounds, and a nearly 40% clip from deep. But Denver, too, faces its own uncertainty after crashing out in the second round. And word has it that Porter is not off-limits in upcoming trade talks. Recent sportsbook odds from Bovada put the Warriors as 300 favorites to land Porter Jr., ahead of the Bulls and Lakers. That's not just speculation. It's a reflection of league-wide whispers that Golden State is ready to pounce. What would Porter bring to San Francisco? At his best, his shooting gravity transforms offensive schemes. He stretches the floor, like few big men can, punishing defenses and giving Curry and Butler room to operate. His off-ball movement fits perfectly into Golden State's motion-heavy offense. Yes, there are red flags. Porter's history with back injuries and inconsistency in big playoff moments. But his upside is precisely what this roster needs to raise their ceiling. The cost of greatness, young talent on the trade block blockbuster. Trades don't come cheaply, and making a move for Porter means pushing valuable chips onto the table. The focus is sharply on Jonathan Kuminga, the 21-year-old wing who showed glimpses of stardom but never quite cemented his place in the Warriors' crowded rotation. Kuminga's playoff usage vacillated wildly. Steve Kerr benched him early, questioning his fit next to Butler, only to reinsert him after Curry's injury when Kuminga promptly led the team in scoring. Despite the flashes, his long-term fit remains muddied. Set to become a restricted free agent, most expect Golden State to use him as a tool in sign-and-trade negotiations. Analyst Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report even proposed a scenario where Kuminga, along with Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, another athletic, defense-minded young wing, Brandon Podziemski, and a 2027 first-round pick, head to Phoenix for the return of franchise legend Kevin Durant. It's a package that strips the Warriors of much of their youth for an aging but still elite superstar. The more likely, and arguably more balanced, trade would be Kuminga, Moody, and a first-round pick to Denver in exchange for Porter Jr. and talented guard Christian Braun. Losing 2 upside-rich prospects is harsh, but it signals a clear shift. The Warriors believe their time to win is now. Strategic fit, how Porter Jr. could revolutionize the rotation. Let's dive deeper into the fit. Porter Jr. would be the archetype of a stretch four for the Warriors, a large, fluid forward who reads defenses, spots up from anywhere, and thrives in a system demanding quick decisions and movement. Consider his impact, with defenses already fixated on stopping Curry's off-the-dribble magic and Butler's aggressive drives. Porter's presence at the arc could bend opposing schemes into the breaking point. His shooting would space the floor to historic levels, perhaps reminiscent of the death lineup days when Golden State was at its peak. On the defensive side, Porter's length and athleticism open windows for improvement, especially as Draymond ages and the Warriors have to cover more ground. Plus, Christian Braun's addition would give the backcourt a hard-nosed defender with a penchant for smart team play and occasional scoring bursts. There's no doubt Porter Jr. could remake the Warriors' offense almost overnight. But championship aspirations depend on more than potential synergy. And that's not the only name in the Warriors' crosshairs. The Cam Johnson factor. Building the bench, building contenders' championship banners are won not just by stars, but by depth. That's why the Warriors' reported interest in Brooklyn Nets forward Cam Johnson is generating buzz. Johnson checks every modern box, a 3-and-D specialist whose floor spacing and relentless cutting would give Golden State more options, and whose defense could help mask some of the rotational vulnerabilities exposed by the Timberwolves. The best teams in the NBA, notably the Thunder, have thrived by assembling deep, flexible rosters, capable of withstanding injuries and making winning plays outside of the spotlight. Adding a player like Johnson could finally give the Warriors the bulletproof bench they've lacked in recent years. The hope is simple: combine superstar power with a supporting cast modeled on the successful depth strategies of today's contenders. The KD reunion rumors, betting it all on legacy every summer brings one true shocker, and this year it's the growing sound of Warriors fans dreaming of a Kevin Durant reunion. Bleacher Report's scenario would see them offload almost all their promising young pieces for one last run, with Durant, Curry, Butler, and Draymond. The emotional resonance of such a move can't be denied. The chance to reunite the group that went to 3 straight finals together. But reality is less forgiving. Durant is now in the final years of his career, often sidetracked by injuries. Going all in would mortgage Golden State's post-dynasty future, leaving a long rebuilding road once its legends decline. Management faces a nearly impossible test: satisfy a fan base desperate for glory while ensuring the organization doesn't pay a painful price when time finally catches up to its Hall of Fame core. Decision time in the Bay. What's the next move? As the sun sets on another Warriors season, the crossroads is undeniable. Should they back up the truck for Michael Porter Jr., gambling on his upside and injury history? Would a smart, stealthy addition like Cam Johnson be enough to shore up their bench and buy another title run? Or does the allure of one last emotional ride with Kevin Durant tip the scales? Now, more than ever, the paths diverge, and the team. He must choose between risking it all for one more ring, or carefully building for what comes after. And here's where you weigh in. Warriors fans, NBA diehards. If you were calling the shots, what move would you make? Would you sell the future and chase another championship, or craft a bridge for the next generation? Tap like if you enjoyed this deep dive and drop your answer in the comments below. We want to hear every perspective as the Warriors' fate hangs in the balance. Stick with us for every twist in this off-season saga. Until next time, believe in the blue and gold.